Recently bought a new car, and when I bought my new car, I was trading in my old car that I hadn't paid off yet. So I had negative equity, or my car was upside down, or whatever the fuck criminals tell you that's wrong with your finances. So I'm in the financer's office, and she goes, do you want to get gap coverage on your new car? And I'm like, how much extra a month is that going to be that I'm not going to pay? And she goes, well, here's the thing. If you get gap coverage and you total your new car, that wipes out your old car debt and your new car debt, and you start back at zero with us. I go, are you telling me that I should get gap coverage and then total my new car and start back at zero, Project Mayhem Fight Club style? Is that She goes, I would never tell anybody that. That's illegal. But if you get gap coverage. So I got gap coverage and a live grenade. And I'm just waiting for somebody to sideswipe me and be like, oh, that's just a scratch. The fuck it is. That shit's total. Project Mayhem Motor World style. Speaking of cars, I'm glad that we're finally getting into September and we're finally going to get into winter. I like those months, not for my own personal comfort. It's just that during the winter, people can leave their baby in a car and it's fine. You put him in a park, you go do your Zumba, he's fine. My point is, I don't get why news anchors and whatnot are giving sympathy to dipshits who left their baby accidentally in a hot car. I'm sorry, if you're a parent and you accidentally leave your baby in a hot car, you're a shit parent. There's just no two ways of looking at it, and they don't deserve sympathy. And I know there's parents in here thinking, well, you don't have kids. And I'm like, okay, you're right, but I have bought ice cream before. And I know if I don't get the ice cream inside in a certain amount of time, it's not going to be ice cream anymore. If my ice cream sits in my trunk, makes no noise whatsoever, I never forget it. Your baby sits behind you in a giant car seat wearing a rainbow cap with a propeller on it, holding an all-day lolly, moving it, making all kinds of noise. If you're telling me that my $5.99 pint of Ben & Jerry's cookie dough ice cream is more important than the thing you spent 9 months fermenting inside of you, you're a shit parent. There's no two ways of looking at it. My wife and I have 0 children, and that was way too many children, so I got a vasectomy to keep that fucking number down. Only costs $80 out of pocket with health insurance. People often ask, can you put a price tag on happiness? $80 is what fucking happiness costs. And I love meeting people that don't know me, and they're going, oh, you're married, so when you having kids? Not. Well, you never know. Oh, yes, I do. Well, accidents happen. Well, I paid a doctor to mutilate me so an accident doesn't happen. My wife forgets it every now and then. There are months where my wife will go, I think I missed my period, to which I reply, vasectomy? She'll go, all right, smartass, what if I'm pregnant? I go, we're either getting a divorce or going to church. Now choose wisely. There's 7 billion people on the planet. The only rational reason you should have for having a child is organ farming. That's the only reason. Think of this as a modest proposal for anybody that's ever read a book. It's easy to get one too. If you can't have a child, you just go to an orphanage and you pick one out. It's not like anybody cares about those kids. That's why they're orphans in the first place. And if you're upset by that, you can go adopt one right now. Otherwise, stop making noises like you're above the fucking joke. You know what they don't like at the orphanage? When you ask them, what's the kid's blood type? They get very angry when you ask them. What do you need to know that for? I need to make sure my kidney's not going to be rejected. He's 4 years old. You're like, oh, that's right. I better take both his kidneys. That's the point where I'm doing this bit at a college and some girl goes, I have a baby and that's offensive to me. And I have to go, well, fuck you and your baby for interrupting my set. I with my anger. My baby's really smart. I highly doubt that. He can take apart a toolbox. It's not that hard to take apart a toolbox. You open it up, dump it out, toolbox taken apart. Your baby does not impress me. No, he can take it apart with a screwdriver. Tommy Pickles did that shit at 1 year old. Your kid does not impress me. And you're selfish for having a child. How am I selfish? Well, you created somebody without their consent, and now you're fucking subjecting them to all the bullshit that life entails, like high school bullying, love loss, and Jeff Dunham. You're fucking selfish. Shut up. And if Jeff Dunham exists in this world, you have to admit that abortions are mercy killings. You just have to agree with that. I'm in favor. I hate pro-choice people that are always on the fence going, well, I mean, I agree, but I don't think you should just use abortion as birth control. Like, but it's so effective. How could you not? Abortions are so effective that sometimes they even kill the fucking mom. Like, that's how effective they are. And she'll never have another one. It's a perfect fucking solution that you didn't think of, but I did. She's getting really angry. I'm like, you need to stop thinking that you're fucking special, okay? You're not special that just because in the heat of the moment you forgot the difference between in me and on me, okay? That's when I get off stage and another woman approaches me and she goes, hey, we're doing a benefit for Planned Parenthood and we'd really like you to be on the benefit. Can I do all the jokes I just did? She's like, we were hoping you would, actually.